Hello and welcome to CineTracer 2 version 0.5.1. We have added 4 new lights. They are in the inventory. These are them right here. We're going to look at them shortly. And to control only those new lights, we have to use the lighting tool. So lighting has changed a little bit, and it's going to change a bunch next update as well. Important to remember, this is the only way to turn off these space lights in the stage. They're turning off now. This is going to be moved to a traditional 2D UI pretty soon. So I put together a really basic 2x2 set here with an actor in the middle and some furniture. We're going to go into the lighting catalog and we have a new T-tube, an H-tube, a I-bar, and an I-bar 4-foot. Let's start with this new T-tube here. It comes out, and with the hand tool, you're able to pick it up and move it around. We'll see that it will actually kind of position itself to surfaces. This is called surface orientation for now. So makes sense kind of on the ground, and we'll place one right here. If we go in and grab the taller H tube, it's roughly 80 inches. We'll see that it is pretty much the exact same thing. It's just taller. Unlike other lights where you could edit them, that is no longer the case for the lights moving forward. This is just the first of them. We're going to switch to our lighting tool. And we have this little wireless DMX controller here. And now when we point at a light, specifically the new lights, we'll see that it has a model name and a temporary address. That's the same for both of these. Sometimes this won't show up on screen. It kind of depends on the view. But let's hit F, and we're going to have a brand new UI. And you'll see that your mouse is out, which is heavily requested and the new way that editing will go moving forward. To start, we have hue, saturation, and intensity, and these add up to make color, which is over here. We'll start by moving hue, and this is going to change the color of the light. We'll do it at 180. If we change this, this changes the saturation, and if you bring it all the way down to 0, this makes it 1. This will change how bright the light is, and it will change how much light it emits. I'm going to put this back down to about 0.5. Over here, if you click, you can also pick colors this way. And if you stick to the outside edge of the circle, you're going to get the most saturated or vibrant, pure colors here. I'm going to put this back towards the 180 kind of cyan world. To close this, you're going to click this little power button, and that is the general workflow. So to control lights, you need to see this little DMX console. We'll do the same thing here. There's more modes here, but let's go over color a little bit more here. If we go through the trouble of designing a color that we really like, say something like around 300, and we like this color, what we can do is save it, and it will save it to this little category over there. We can then close, look at another light, and if we click this, we can load it in. So this is a way of copy and pasting a color and saving them so that we can apply them to a bunch of different lights. There's some ideas with being able to copy and paste colors and parameters from out here. But to start, we have a color library and we can save, load. And if we want to, we can delete these as well. These are sort of temporary. They don't get saved with the project, but that's something we're looking to do in the future. So for now, it's just within the same session, you can save and load colors back. Specifically with this light here, we're able to go into mode. And this is the first of our takes on programming lights like this. So right now it's a flat color. And if we change it to partial, we can see that the light is doing this. I forget what this is called in real life, but I've called it partial. And a part of the tube is glowing and now it's moving. So we're going to continue to control this. So this is partial view. We can stop it from moving. It'll kind of just stop in the middle. And we can reverse its direction. So now it's going bottom to top. And over here, like you'd expect, this is going to change the speed that it's going to animate. And a lot of lights like this in real life have very similar programming controls, and we can look at some different versions here. With partial on, we can go in and change the color, and behaves as you'd expect. This does look a lot better when you turn the lights off, but for now, I'm going to leave our space lights on. Just to continue this demo, I'm going to switch this to partial. We'll go backwards and we'll go to slow instead. And I will load this color in. So now these fixtures have the same color. They're both in partial mode going backwards, but one's going much faster than the other. Let's look at some of the other new lights and just kind of see this pattern happen again. This is a 2-foot bar light. And like the other light, it will orient itself to the surface. So this is supposed to be like mounting it to the wall. You can mount it to certain objects. That one doesn't work out so well. we'll change that in the future. But it's really meant to go on the floor or go on walls. We can bring in another one over here too. And here is a 4-foot one. And for the most part, you're able to line these up. You're also able to hit, ooh, it should say E and Q, but it's just Q. Found a UI issue. But E and Q, it could be just Q. We'll rotate this around so you can make them vertical or you can make them diagonal. And especially the vertical and the horizontal ones will actually line up so you can kind of stack them together. But we'll leave this here. Again, to control these lights, this is a new concept here, we have to change tool. And so when we point at this, it says that it is a bar light, and we edit, and it's very much the same thing here. We're going to change its color to pink. We could change its mode to partial, and we could slow it way down like this. And so we have a pretty cool pink light going on here. At this point, I'm going to turn off the lights. Apologies that it's still that system way over there, but that will change in the near future. I'm going to put this one there and continue to control it remotely. I'm going to turn the intensity way up on this one. We'll see that it will start to emit even more lights. These lights on their own are a little noisy. However, if you've ever worked in any 3D rendering engine, this is actually extremely fast and pretty nice quality for light sources like this. So while you certainly can do this, you want to keep in mind that it's a little bit noisy to go for lighting a scene entirely from these. However, it does work pretty well in UE5. I'm going to take this one and pump it up as well. And we can see now that we're pretty much lighting this entire room using these tubes. I'm going to continue editing this. I'm going to switch it to this kind of like orange color. We'll go flat so it just stops. If it's flat, none of these do anything. And we'll crank this intensity as well. And we'll see that we're able to pretty much light this scene using just these tubes. We're going to move the hand tool for moving it, and then return to the controlling tool to control it. I know that this is a little bit different than how it's worked in the past, but controlling lights is going to get a little bit more nuanced moving forward, so it requires its own tool as this continues to progress. So this is a look at how this works now. All the lights in the next update, it is planned that they're going to be programmed this way. And then the ultimate goal with this is that all the lights can be programmed all at once, sort of like you had a virtual lighting console. That is the direction that this is moving. I'm going to turn this down, and this is essentially the workflow that we're going for with these lights now. I'm going to take this tube, and so this is sort of a nonsensical lighting setup here, but just wanted to make something. We'll crank this up, spin this down a little bit more towards red, and we have a bit of an interesting scene going on. The last mode that I haven't shown yet, if we go into this, is that we can go to rainbow. Rainbow might look better if you want to see the color of the tube a little bit. If you bring it back down to about 0.4 or 0.5, we can actually see the color of the tube at that brightness. This one will also switch to rainbow. And this is some of the fun of Unreal Engine 5 remaking the app in UE5, is that lighting like this is possible. This would not have been possible in UE4. So this is really taking advantage of some of the new lighting systems like Lumen that allow for this type of lighting programming to actually work and be visualizable on all sorts of computers. So here we are in rainbow mode. Pretty cool. And feel free to check out these lights. Would love to see the results. I'm sure you'll make much cooler scenes than this one right here. But would love to see the results of what you're able to make with this. Let me know feedback on the new lighting tool. I know it's a bit of a pain to have to switch to it, but there's been a lot of work and thought putting into this mouse UI now to control lights this way. And most likely all of the lights will be controlled with this new style UI, as well as most objects. The editing system will start to look like this. So that wraps up this update, and I'll see you on the next one.